Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record. I work to achieve mastery of 10 games, and I'll hunt for the best score of the decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2019. It's our Pro Cyclist Stage Racer, and we're on to episode number 20. As we head into the Tour of Oman, one of my favorite races to participate in. I really enjoy a couple of the stages on this one. You saw a brief message there about getting into the Tour of Catalonia. I really like how the previous model used in career mode regarding invitations into World Tour races has now made its way into the Pro Cyclist mode this year. I really like that feature because the teams you were on, their calendar was set right off the bat, January 1, and not changing. But now, that calendar actually, as a Pro Continental team, varies over the course of the season as the team does or doesn't get into these races. You may be pre-selected for a race that you're no longer then invited to, or the team does get the invite, and you're going to end up having to spend points to get there if you even qualify. So Wout van Aert is here, and not a pure sprinter, but a man with good pace with his legs. Looks to be the favorite for this stage. So we do have some top team talent. It looks like at least 9 teams. Yeah, it appears 9 World Tour teams are here for this one. So half the field have come, and looking at the names, Van Avermaet, that's going to be a difficult one. Van Aert, of course. Enric Mas is here. Quintana on Ineos, but I don't think that's Nairo. I think that might be the brother. Rudy Millard, Jasper Stuyven, Richie Porte, and it's Pedersen. So Trek brought a strong team. Daryl Impey, Menkes, King, O'Connor here for Dimension Data. So we're going to have some competition in this race for sure. But not necessarily the biggest names around. Enric Mas will be a difficult one. Van Aert will be a difficult one. We might be able to do something in this race. We might. Anyway, stage 1, it's a sprint stage, so nothing happening here. Let's just go ahead and skip on to stage number 2, actually, and I'll just give you feedback on what happened at the end of the stage, whether Van Aert held true and won the stage or not. Stage 1, the sprint, went to Anthony Roux. I came so close in stage number 1 to stealing a little bit of time. There was a sprint point late, and the breakaway was down to just the last surviving rider of the group. The rest had just been reeled in. So I went for it, and in going for it, it was looking likely that I was going to have it, but then suddenly a whole bunch of riders also decided that they wanted the points that came with that sprint point. And I ended up crossing the line in 4th. I'm not a sprinter, so I was beaten straight up. And so I just missed out on stealing a second and getting a little bit of an advantage early on in this race. Didn't happen, and it burned up quite a bit of energy. So I still stayed in the group, no problem. But I did end up finishing in 39th, which puts me 13 seconds down overall. The main reason for that is Anthony Roux won the stage, and he, I think, crossed the line first at that sprint point. So the Groupama FDJ rider has a little bit of an advantage to start this. Avermaet took second. Zdeněk Štýbar took... No, he wasn't up there. It was Mike Tunison who took 3rd, wasn't it? No, it was him. It was Štýbar. Tunison, I think, took 2nd across that sprint point. That's what it was. with Rue going first. So you can see it was definitely contested by actual sprinters, and that's why I just missed out. But anyway, the objective, finish top of the overall general classification. So, full team support. I like that. A little nervous that they expect me to actually full on win this. Niccolo Conci went down. It's one of my riders in my 2018 career mode team. So this field is totally loaded in some respects. 8 World Tour teams, and pretty much everybody else is Pro Continental. So big teams here. Big presence. But they didn't all necessarily show up with their best riders. Wout van Aert, definitely up there. Nielsen Paulus, Enric Mas, Gilbert, Van Avermaet, DeMarchi. I mean, there are plenty of big names, and I had already pointed out quite a few others prior to stage 1. So this is not going to be an easy race to win at all. In fact, it's going to be quite the opposite. So I'm a little surprised that the team suggests that I should win, especially with the minor support that they'll be able to provide me with. But we'll do our best. And this is the type of stage that, even though it's classified as a sprint, there's a pretty good chance that this will not be a bunch sprint. Look at the profile there at the end of the stage. That is a very punchy climb. And normally I'm not a punchy rider with my stage racer, but I tried to opt for a little more balance for this year to see. I think that was one of the differences, one of the areas that I really hurt in PCM 18 with my stage racer. So trying to give a little more ability in the punch. And today's the kind of day where that could pay off, because I have a +2 race day condition, 100% fitness. So my hill rating today anyway is an 80. My resistance is a 70, which is still not great. My sprint is only a 58, which is still not great. So there's still some weaknesses there, but good acceleration, really good hill rating. I could get away, or at least be in a very small group at the end. But gotta save a little bit of energy over the top, because you can see that the finish actually climbs back up a little bit itself, and there won't be much time for recovery over that descent. But the penultimate climb, we've just gone over the top, and we're about to peak out now. Moderate descent. We've got 20 Ks to go, and then we're looking at about 7.5 K out when that climb starts. And it's only going to last a couple K, but it is so steep that good punchy riders can do something to separate them in the field. And that's what I'm going to look to do here. Breakaway group has been reeled in. I do have team support. I'm wondering if the first K or so, well, I could use to book here. Do I have your rating at all? Not at all. And he's a -2. But I can use him to get an early acceleration, and then once he's burned up, go off on my own. This would be a great time to try to steal 3 seconds, but we've got enough on our plate. And you can see it's still being sprinted by like 6 guys there. Okay, we're down to 10K. I need the gel for the climb, so let's use that up now. 87, not really enough to keep pace. Here we go, 4K to the top, 3.5K to the top. I'm going to start my acceleration here. The box should be in front of me, but he's not. Not a good place for him. 2K to the top. Oh, don't get caught. Oh, there's no more edge to the road. I got blocked out there. I expected there was more room to the side. Okay, here we go. Starting to accelerate, and let's go.
The group is slowly thinning out due to such a frantic pace.
Off the front. Okay, on my own, 23 seconds. Red bar, come on, red bar, hang in there a little bit longer. It's okay, I still have yellow bar. Still have yellow bar, plenty of that for the final. I've got 53 seconds over the field. A minute 5 over the field. 3K to go. Slow that down a little bit here on the flat. Minute 4. 1K to go. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sprint it out, sprint it out. We got this, we got this. It was punchy enough to get away. There you go, stage victory. The other guys are coming hard here at the end, but they're only cutting the gap back. 39 seconds. 39 seconds clear. Daryl Impey, Zednik Štibar, Van Avermaet, Anthony Roux, Jensen and Tunison. That was fantastic. That was fantastic. We got the separation. That's going to open a little bit of a gap. That's going to put us in first place right now in the overall, right where we want to be. And this was technically a sprint stage. I knew there was enough severity to that climb to get a little separation. I didn't expect that much of a separation. I expected riders to go with me. I really did. I figured I'd get a group of, 6, 8, 10 riders and then separate that from the rest of the field. And that it would be the punchy guys, not necessarily the climbing guys, that are going to be necessary later. Meaning it would have given me a chance. It would have given me an edge for later on. Eliminate some of the competition. No. I just did damage to the entire competition instead. I like that. I like that a lot. Should be 38 seconds plus 10. Though Štibar had a little advantage. Remember, I was 13 down. Roux didn't pick up any time here, getting 5th, unless that sprint point. He certainly could have gotten there. Big bunch sprint behind. Really didn't expect a full group bunch sprint like that for second. So yeah, 39 seconds. And then most everybody on that same time. We got through 88 riders. All level on time. And so that gives us a 36-second lead over Roux. Štibar 41, Van Avermaet, Impey, Tunison. Van Aert hasn't picked up any time, so he's 49 seconds down. He's definitely one of the top competitors that I'm going up against here for this race. There's definitely some others. You can see a few names up here that are certainly going to be in with some sort of shout. But there you go, 30 points. Mostly for the stage win. Move into stage 3, and this is the first one that's actually a punchy stage with a hilltop finish. Not much action to go before that. A little bit longer stage, but stamina won't be a major factor in this one, especially with team support. And with a punchy finish, if I end up with a good race day condition again, which it looks like I'm on a 0 for race day condition, so it really could be just about anything. A positive race day condition, I could be the favorite again. A neutral race day condition, I should at least be in the group but not dropped. 40 kilometers left. We're about to hit the last categorized climb of the day. Breakaway was just caught a moment ago.
See that the pack is increasing their pace. It's going to be difficult to break away
And
now.
I'd like to pick up a couple points on this. Oh, shoot, I'm still over 1K away.
Breakaway.
That was the line right there. Oh, they still haven't fixed those. Here we go, last few hundred meters. Ready, and relax, over the top. First, it's 2 points off the Mountain Climbers jersey. It's a good position to be, and I will recover just fine. Somehow, I'm still 19 seconds off the front. There we go. $36K left to go now. We've got 91 riders left in the peloton, and this one does end with a climb.
Definitely won't be able to keep up.
And I'd say it's about a 3 to 4 kilometer climb. Profile doesn't necessarily show from here. That's a good distance to have a combo of mountain rating and hill rating be your strength. Resistance though, out of 65, not great, but I'll have team support at least through the base, and then that'll make the hills rating matter a bit more. So I'm in good shape on that. Unfortunately, I do have a -1 to my race day condition, so that's not great. It's less than ideal. But you can see that a lot of riders are actually quite tired here. So Conclaves went back to get water like ages ago. Good 10 plus K. There he is. Goncalves, not Conclaves. Finally, he's returning to the front. So it's a little bit confusing, but you can see my red jersey slightly different than the team's red jersey. And that's because the race leader's jersey for this one is a, well, red jersey. 99 in the peloton. We're seeing a little bit of an attack here. Sabatini. Not worried about him getting off the front, but we don't want anyone to get too far away with just 26K to go in the stage. You can see plenty of riders are definitely fatigued and just hanging on right now. So this is a really good sign for what's to come. If I have fatigued guys around, that's going to give me a bit of an edge. And let's see, Martin is one of the favorites. Enric Mas. That wasn't Mas. Let me slow down a little bit. Mas, there we go. Use one on you. Hershey. Use one on you. Martin. Similar ratings to mine, except for he actually has resistance. Stibar. There you go. Terrible mountain rating, but good hills rating. We could hopefully do a little bit of damage to him. He's fresh right now. Alright. Little punchy one here.
The riders are entering the last 15 kilometers of the stage. The peloton has definitely accelerated, meaning that an attack is highly unlikely.
I'd like to see an acceleration here to the end. And actually, oh, look at this. I have full team control. Why don't? It's 13K. Let's finish getting over the top. And let's put some pressure on this field. I haven't done this for a while. Let's go Lastra, Kelvis, and Tarame, and Backart, Moria, and you're going to effort up. Let's go ahead and take the overhead view. How far back? Calvez is the only one still coming up. Okay, that's good. Bring it back down. And there you go. We're out. Moria. It's just 10K, so go ahead and attack a lot harder now. This will put me right on the front foot as we start the climb, and I can use the last of my guys I will already be in the premier position. So that's the plan. So you can see already we are right there at the front where I want to be without burning myself up or anything, just at the front with a little bit of team support. There we go, back art, you're done. Tarme. Your turn, 6.4k, we're almost to the climb. I'm on my last 3 guys, and that's completely fine because I'm not going to want... I want the base. I'll want the last guy or so at the base, or the last 2 guys at the base. And we're coming up on that base now. And look, here we are, down to 2 guys. Use my gel. And so we're going to go 97 now. Kelviz. And then Lastra will get used up. It's down to 3k, so just go 99. Yeah, you're not hurting me. Okay. See, he's not quite the pace of some of these other guys, but it's down to 2k. Lastra, lead me out. Ooh, no, no, no. Hello. There we go. Lastra's got a good little turn of pace, you can see. And there we go. Gel's kicked in. 1k to go. Give my own little 99 here. And as we get down to those last few hundred meters, I'm definitely not getting dropped. And there's our sprint. We used up our energy. I'm not going to win this thing, I don't think. But I should be top 3. I think Moss has it, or Martin, but it's looking top 3. It's Moss, it's Martin. I get 3rd. That's still bonus seconds, and that's still keeping me in that perfect position. Nielsen Palace goes 4th. That's good. I'm not a punchy climber. I'm a stage racer, but I've got a decent hill rating. I've got low resistance. I've got low sprint. So just getting into the podium, that was a good finish, and that was a good team effort. That was a good team lead out. Those guys got me in the right position to get a quality finish, to get on the podium for that stage, to not get dropped, to not have an issue like that. So it was good. Now, the stupid thing was the team thought I should actually win the stage, and I don't think I was anywhere near a contender for the win. I was absolutely a contender for the top 10, but even a top 5 was a little ridiculous. I mean, I think that was perfectly played, perfectly executed by the team. That was as good of a result as we could expect with low sprint, low resistance, -1 race day condition. I'm not a puncher.
We've selected the following highlights for you.
And I'm that close to winning it. Yeah, quick step 1, 2. Again, it further cements our position. We're now 40 seconds clear of Rue. Moss now up to 3rd. Dan Martin up to 7th. See, for them, they gained a little time and it improved their position, but for me, I'm further clear than I was, so I'm very happy with that result. Team unhappy that I took 3rd in the stage. Team principal, not a big fan of you. Bink Bank, we got an invitation. I saw there on the message column. Right, stage 4. Huh? Really? Nah. That's a sprint stage. This is a sprint stage. I'll see it the last couple kilometers though, just to be sure. This is more of a mountain stage than a hill stage than a sprint stage. This is one of my favorite stages in this game, period. They've changed it this year a little bit. So we are coming up, and we might be able to see it. Oh yeah, there it is. This hill. Love this hill. This is so much fun. But they've altered the course a little bit. Let's see if this... So you go up and over and back and over and then back and then off you go to the finish. Big headwind, actually. That's pretty hefty that we're heading into right now. So definitely need to keep an eye on that. You can see there's quite a few riders off the back already as we're down to 106 in the peloton, and it's going to start shrinking quite quickly because the intensity of the climb. You can see it's quite steep. It is quite steep, and it will do damage. The big difference, though, is I'd say the right edge of the profile right now is where the finish line used to be. Meaning you're coming off of these 3 climbs back to back to back. It's the same climb over 3 times. You go over, you come back over it, and then you turn around and you go over it one more time. But you can see it's been extended to the finish. And that completely alters this stage. Now, it's going to be a small group finish, but this is not a solo breakaway type victory, which I have won this before as a solo breakaway type victory a couple times. I've definitely been in a small group of 6 or 7 and contested this stage. This feels different this time. They've reworked this stage, and I don't know if it's going to live up to the billing of my favorite stage any longer. But we've got a breakaway group of 8 riders. That's 2 minutes ahead. Doesn't feel like 2 minutes, but apparently that's 2 minutes ahead where they're at right now. And this first time over, there's going to be some attrition. I think we're going to probably lose about 20 riders off the back, but that should be about it this time. And usually it's down to 30 or 40. But I think the profile just being a little bit different now, I just don't think it's going to happen. You see the front group instantly shatters. They're all over the road now. My 87 blinked red a couple times there for just a moment, which means the pace is good. So far we've only dropped... There you go. Now we're starting to drop riders.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
15, 20. Now see, the good thing about this one is we're now looking at this being more of a mountain rating right now. The hills guys are going to struggle, and they're going to be really tired after that first time over the top. And speaking of, we've already hit the top of the climb, but now we're actually topping out. And, ooh, wow, they've built this up a lot more. There's the city down below that was not there in last year's game at all. It was just empty desert land. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's beautiful. Massive city, whatever city it might be. All right, so 73 riders left. I figured about 20 would be dropped. That was a little over 30 that were dropped. We're down to 3 riders left off the front. The front 2 guys have lost about 30 seconds, 40 seconds from where they were. And now it's all back together, and they're a minute and a half. They'll be caught, but I've been involved in a crash here. Coming around this corner. Rudy Millard's here, Ben O'Connor's here. And we lost a lot of time. Oh my goodness, we lost 2.5 minutes there. That was 2.5 minutes we just lost. Holy crap. This race just got flipped upside down. I've got no teammates with me. I was the only one caught in that crash. Oh, that was ridiculous. We are a minute 50 down. Come on. I need to move up. This is now considered the peloton because I'm in it. Move my way past a lot of dropped riders.
The escapees have surrendered. The pack gave them no chance.
I'll have a bit of time to recover before we go over it again. Usually it's like almost immediate. It's back to back. Now there's 41 riders left on the front. And there they are. Oh, I might make it back. I might make it back. I've done it. I'm back in contact with the peloton. Wow. Tough luck. But it looks like I've overcome.
Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind.
Let's get up towards the front. We have the energy to do so, and now rest and recover. Tarame and Lastra are still up here, but I don't have control over Lastra right now for some reason. Tarame, never mind working the front. Go ahead and protect me. I need to recover. And we're down to just 33 riders with one more time over the top still to go. And yes, they've completely changed the profile because usually the turnaround place is coming up right here on the left. That was the turnaround right. Oh, that is the turnaround still. Okay, they didn't change that part. That part's still the same. Field's largely back together. 74 riders now. And I'm recovered. I am recovered here. I don't want to go off alone, but I'd like to see this group thin back out. Yeah. This is no longer that stage that it was with this long finish coming up after. I mean, I can go up and take this sprint point, take 3 more seconds. .5K. I'm going to start moving up. Can I get around these guys, though? Is that Minky? Oh, Impy. Rosa. 1K. Coming up the front. 60 riders left. The second line is the sprint one. Ooh, I just rode off the front without even trying.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
And you think they want to catch me? I was opening the gap, just riding, 25 seconds. But see, that's the thing. I could have opened a bigger gap if I had worked earlier, harder. I mean, I just comfortably rode off the front on that one. I could have gotten 40 seconds clear. And from here, it's supposed to be about 2.5, 3K to the finish. And it was straight on. Now, it's turn left and go through the city, and there's still 20K to go.
The pack is back on level terms with the breakaway group.
50 riders. And Tarme, the only one that I've got control over, Bakart and Lastra. No control there. 51 in the peloton. 6 riders just behind.
But I'd bet on some sort of tactical choice.
And then still 20K to go. So this extension of this stage sucks. It really does. It takes so much away from this stage because now you've got a big bunch sprint. $12K. Where's my support? Tarme. Protect. Make sure I actually get to the end on this.
Either they're getting a bit hot or they're saving themselves for the final dash. Those guys up front aren't going to
Guys are coming back. Goncalves just came back. Little uphill here on the edge of town. The finish is a little bit of an uphill too, isn't it? Yeah, just slightly. Just slightly. Not anything that's going to actually do any damage. The stage is stunning, though. It's beautiful. Changed or not, they really did some amazing work on this one. Gel. Tarme, you're going to give me a lead out. There's a lot of tired guys here, so maybe we can get something. Tarme, 97, pull to the front. There you go. It's about to run out of energy, though. Let's go, let's go.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first of the line today?
Just that little uphill. We're there with the front. Impey, Van Avermaet, Stibar. Van Avermaet takes the win for CCC. They've not had very many wins this year. They were really looking forward to having him on the team, but it has not been the best year for CCC. And I get into the top 10, which doesn't mean anything other than I did not lose time. And I'll take that, but really neither did a half-century worth of riders. 54 in that final group. And look at this, little up, down, up, down. This would have been a great place to continue on just a little bit further. If you're going to go this far, at least give us a little bit of a punchy up-down finish. That would be exciting. Instead, they give us just that tiny little uphill and then call it a day. A lot of scattered riders off the back, well behind. Already 30 minutes from the finish. Last rider just makes it in the time window. No time cut for him today. There you go. We hold on to a 40-second lead now over Van Avermaet. Roux, 43 down. Oh, that's right. I picked up 3 seconds. Forgot. I went over that sprint point first. So there you go. We got 3 seconds on the day. Van Avermaet gives us the same lead that we had before as he picks up 10 on the finish line. Roux and the rest of the field drops back that little bit further. We're now just about a full minute clear of the field with 2 stages left to go. Let's go ahead and take another glance at those 2 stages, what the profile is before we move forward. Again, there's the Big Bank Invitation. And there it is. Okay, stage number 6. Nothing's changing on that stage. That's a sprint finish. Stage 5, pure mountain. And finally, again, this is actually the most suited towards me, other than the fact that I have low resistance. But we'll see. I could still very well be on top at the end of this one. I mean, that 40-second gap certainly helps. See if I can hang on to it. Final 15 kilometers.
We've got 15 kilometers to the finish line.
There's a little sprint point ahead. It's just 2K away. Tempted to go for those seconds, but I don't want to waste any energy before this final climb. You can see the final climb. Sprint point is 12K from the end, so it's about 7 kilometers long, and it's steep. It is steep throughout, so it is a heck of a climb, and Enric Mas is here. So remember, Enric Mas is here. So the good news is I have the race lead. So that is a really, really good thing going forward. But I don't have the greatest team support. These guys aren't the best climbers that are here. Lastra seems to have done the best job so far, so I'll leave him on protection duty. But we're seeing a little attack there, Jensen, Ornez. Again, I wanted those 3 seconds, but I was not willing to spend any energy whatsoever on that. I don't need to attack this group. I don't need to go win this stage.
The riders are
I need to
entering
not
the last 15
lose.
kilometers of the
And
stage.
actually, what I really should do... oh, hello. That's new. I'm not sure how I'm on the bookie's favorite as he's the bookie's favorite. But can I take position here behind Moss? And then use Lastra to defend? I like that idea. Now, he's got a good mountains rating, but he's not the best on the hills rating. So that's good for me because I could do either, really. And today, here we go, 6.4K, 9.7% gradient, 1,200 meters of climbing in just a 6-kilometer stretch. And we've already hit the base. We're 0.2, but here we go. Here's an acceleration coming from Moss.
And there's an attack at the front. He could go all
He's
the way.
starting right from the base. Come on, I want to see what's going on here. He's got a little separation. Van Avermaet is going with him, really.
There are just 5 kilometers left. It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps. You see that? You can
4.5. Moss is doing really well up there. So I'm having to chase him down, otherwise he will win this race. Don't like how much energy this is using, though. I'm off the front. It's just he and I now. Little flat section here. Let's use our gel. 2 riders behind. And I still have yellow bars, so I mean it's not done yet. Whew, steep section right there. 28 seconds is the gap. I'm 40. Let's see, what's the gap? Us. 44 seconds clear. 10 for a win, 6 for second. So he gains 4 seconds on me there. And it's a 44. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, my yellow bar just disappeared. Shoot. Hey. What are you doing going way to the far side of the road? I've just been caught by these guys. Bennert, who I don't know. I think he's got it. Enric Mas has got it. Yeah, he's over a minute. He's over a minute. I'm going to be second overall in this race. Third on the stage. Conrad Bennert takes second. I'm going to get third. Richie Port gets fourth. So I still have that really low resistance. And Enric Mas is like 4 or 5 points clear of me on mountain ability. Clear favorite on the day. I tried to go with him, but he was just way too strong. If I could have kept his wheel from the get-go, it would have been a lot easier. Because then he would have been forced to ride. But unfortunately, I was forced to ride. And he outlasted me easily. So I'll be second overall for the race. I did at least get a stage win. Couple podiums. So really good first attempt at the Tour of Oman here in my second season. And things have gone really well. I mean, small Continental Pro team, 8 World Tour teams. Enric Mas was here. Richie Port was here. Mark Hershey. Ben O'Connor. Dan Martin was here. Menkes, Van Avermaet was here. Plenty of talented riders. And second overall is still going to be quite the result. So, unfortunately, I don't get the overall win. And somehow, I don't see how the team wanted me to win it, because I don't think I was the favorite for any stage. And I wasn't. Team certainly has high hopes for me. So minute 21 down. Yeah, so a clear second place. There you go. In fact, we flipped the gap. It went from a 44-second lead to a 43-second deficit. Bennett ends up in third, Port fourth, Van Avermaet fifth, Impey, Hershey, Rodriguez, Caruso, and Dan Martin are your top 10. Lastra did a pretty good job getting 14th. I do win the sprint competition by 1 point. I do win the mountain climbers competition by 2 points. Moss was under 25, so he gets that award as well. And Quick Step, through Moss, move into the overall race win. As a team, we take second there. But that was still a really stinking good race. But my final tally by getting second is... Oh no, wait, sorry. We loved you a minute ago, but now we hate you. You suck. So we're only going to give you 10 points. Still not a fan of how that rating system works. A Continental Pro rider, 20 years of age, up against 8 World Tour teams, taking second at a major Continental race is poor. Okay, well, there's one stage left, so actually there's still points to come. The final stage, though, it's a sprint. It's not going to get us anywhere. It's not going to have any impact, so I will be doing that one off camera. I will finish second. I will let you know if anything's different, or I'll even add that in to the end of the video if that's the case. The rankings will change, so the rankings as they are right now, 1 point off on the Continental. This second place overall will definitely give me some additional points. So my season is off to a really good start there. I will add points here as well. This will move me up. So in the top 10 in the Super Prestige is an excellent start as we are approaching the end of February. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.